if you reject God, you can close this message right now. But if, deep down in your heart, you know that you love me, if in your soul you recognize that I am your Creator, your Father, your Savior, then stay. Do not leave. This is not just another video. This is not a message meant to entertain you or simply offer comforting words. This is a divine call, a direct intervention from heaven into your life. Today, I, the Lord your God, have set aside this moment to speak to you, and what you will receive is not just any word. It is a sacred word, a word sealed with purpose, with fire, with truth. A word that has been sent from my throne to impact your present and change the course of your eternal destiny. A few moments ago, in the kingdom of heaven, something extraordinary happened. Something you could not see, something beyond the reach of your natural eyes, but that your spirit is already beginning to sense. Before you even saw this message, before your finger touched the screen to play this video, I had already spoken your name. I said it in my heavenly court. I declared it before my angels. It is time. It is now. It is the appointed moment for my child. No more waiting, no more sound, no more doubt. And when I spoke those words, the entire heavens moved. Angels were sent on a mission. A task was given. Among them, your guardian angel received the charge to bring this holy message to you. You have reached a crossroads, and how you respond to what you are about to hear will shape the days ahead. A very serious decision had been made in heaven. This is not a light warning. This is not an ordinary message. This decision directly affects the length of your life on this earth. Yes, as you hear this, your years, your days, your hours are not in the hands of chance, fate, or luck. They are in my hands, and I have decided to move the times. I, the one who created the heavens and the earth, have seen everything you've lived. Your tears, your fault, your secret thoughts, your deepest longings. I know everything about you. I am not a distant God watching from a faraway place. I am not some vague force without a face, a voice, or love. I am your Father. I am the one who created you in your mother's womb. I am the one who has counted every hair on your head, and today I have decided to step into your story. There are moments in life that change everything. There are words that are not just words, but powerful declarations. Today, you are hearing a heavenly decree. This is not a message from man. It didn't come from human emotion or inspiration. It came directly from my presence, and you know this. You can feel in your spirit that this word is for you. Your heart is testifying to it right now. Something deep inside of you is reacting, waking up, because this is the final warning before the change. It's the last door before many others close. You've been asking for answers, crying out in secret, sometimes silently, sometimes with tears on your pillow, wondering if I hear you, if I see you, if I still have plans for you. And today I answer you myself. Yes, I have heard you. Yes, I have seen you. And yes, I have plans for you. But you need to stop. You need to pay attention. You need to surrender fully because the time to play around is over, and the time for walking in half measures has ended. I have placed before you life and death, blessing and curse. And today I plead with you, choose life, choose my way, choose my voice, choose to obey. What has just happened in the spiritual world is a turning point. It is a moment that changes the course of your entire life. The decisions you make after hearing this message will not only impact your time on earth, but also your eternity. Yes, You have an eternal soul, and though the world tries to distract you, entertain you, and fill you with lies, there is one truth you cannot avoid. One day, you will stand before me. One day you will see me face to face, and on that day, I will remind you of this moment, this message, this opportunity. That is why I say stay. Do not close this video. Do not let yourself be distracted. Do not treat this as just another thing you can ignore. This could be your last chance. Listen closely. You are not here by accident. I, the Lord your God, have planned every moment that has led you to this point. Even when you felt like everything was out of control, even when you walked alone in the dark, I was there. I never left you, never took my hand off you. Now, I want you to hear every word that comes from my mouth, because this is not a temporary word, nor is it empty. It is eternal, powerful, and life-changing. It is a word sealed by my Spirit, sent to touch the deepest part of you. Today, I am not just speaking, I am making a decree. I am signing a new chapter for your life with my heavenly authority. A chapter that the enemy cannot stop, one that the past cannot erase, and one that fear cannot hold back. I have seen your struggles. I have seen your tears when you cried alone, when you shut the door and fell apart, not knowing where to turn. I've seen the nights when sleep evaded you, and the weight on your chest felt unbearable. I have heard your questions, your complaints, and your silent sighs. Even when you thought I was far away, I want you to know today with certainty that I was with you through every step. In every fall, I reached out my hand. In every silence, I was at work. In every loss, I was gathering the pieces of your heart. I have not forgotten you. Though the enemy tried to make you believe I abandoned you, though you thought your life had no purpose and that all your dreams had vanished, I am here to tell you today, I'm not finished with you. The decision made in heaven is not for judgment or punishment, but for restoration and renewal. I am a God who redeems, a God who makes all things new. And today, I am putting an end to the season of hardship and pain that you faced, the battles you fought, the trials you've endured, and the pain you've kept hidden. This is all coming to an end. I am breaking every chain that has held you back, tearing down every spiritual stronghold that has kept you trapped, and silencing every lie the enemy has whispered to cloud your vision and steal your hope. I come with power, glory, and a purifying fire to remove every work of the enemy that has tried to destroy you since your childhood. I come as a mighty warrior, but also as a loving Father who deeply cares for you. Today, I declare that you are entering a new season, one filled with hope, promises, and divine favor. I want you to understand something very important. This is not because you've earned it, not because you deserve it, or because of your own efforts. No, this is a gift of grace born out of my eternal love for you. I am your heavenly Father, and it brings me joy to bless my children. I need you to recognize the spiritual significance of this moment. This is not just another video you can watch and forget. This is a divine door opened right before you. It's a door that only I can open, and no one will be able to close it. As I speak, my Spirit is reaching your heart. It is lifting the blindness, removing the veil that has kept you from seeing the truth. The enemy has spent years trying to destroy your identity. He's whispered lies, telling you that you are unworthy, that you are alone, that you've been forgotten, that your best days are behind you, that you failed too many times, and that there's no hope for you. But today, I silence every lie from hell. I tear down every word spoken over you. I replace those lies with my eternal truth. And my truth says, you are my beloved child. You were made in my image, not to live in defeat, but to walk in victory. You were created with a purpose, called with a divine plan. You are not defined by your mistakes, not by the wounds you suffered, not by the opinions of others. You belong to me, and I do not abandon what is mine. I do not forget those who are mine. The plans I have for you are plans for good, not for harm. I plan to give you a future filled with hope. You believe this? You can receive it in your spirit, because I am the God of the impossible. There is nothing that limits me. There is no wound I cannot heal. There is no story I cannot redeem. There is no soul I cannot lift up. I am about to do something in your life that will leave you amazed, something that will publicly prove it was my hand that carried you and my love that saved you. This is a time of divine alignment. I am aligning every part of your life, your thoughts, your choices, your relationships, your steps with my perfect will. What once seemed unclear will now be made clear. What once appeared impossible will now flow easily with grace. I am rewriting your story, not from pain, but from purpose, not from loss, but from victory. Stay with me, because I have not finished speaking to you. What comes next will bring even more light, more truth, and more power. Do not ignore this. Do not let this fire die out. What is happening in you today will change the course of your eternity. I have watched each of your days, from the beginning until now. Nothing you have gone through has gone unnoticed by me. Every wound, every disappointment, every time you've waited in silence, I have seen it all. I watched as you struggled to stay strong while the world seemed to fall apart beneath you. I saw the moments you smiled for others while your heart was crying out. I know the thoughts that crept into your mind in the dark hours. When the world was asleep and your burdens felt unbearable, I did not turn away. I did not hide. I did not forget you. I was closer to you than you knew. Every time you felt unseen by others, my eyes were always on you. Nothing was wasted. Not even what you thought was lost, nor what you saw as failure. I have been carefully weaving the threads of your life in a way that even what seemed broken was being used to create something far greater than you can imagine. The doors that shut were not signs of rejection, but acts of protection. The relationships that ended were not punishments, but freedom. The paths that didn't work out were not mistakes, but necessary detours to bring you to something greater. I have been building on foundations that others cannot see, but when the time comes, they will stand strong in the storm. There are wounds you have never shared, secrets you have kept hidden from fear, shame, or the belief that no one would understand. But I was there when they happened. I heard the word that hurt you. I felt the sting of rejection. I saw the betrayals, the abandonments, and the broken promises. I am not distant from your pain. I have carried it with you. I have cried with you, and I have reached out to help every time you stumbled, even when you didn't notice. I have held your soul when you felt like you couldn't take another step. Now, I want you to know that you are not at the end, but standing at the threshold of a new beginning. Everything that seemed like a series of failures has actually been deep preparation. The struggles you faced were not random. Each one was allowed with purpose. They were quiet lessons for what is coming next. Your character was built when it seemed like everything was falling apart. Your spirit was strengthened when you thought it was breaking. And now, all of that is beginning to make sense. All of it is starting to align like pieces of a puzzle, finally revealing a clear picture. I have canceled every accusation raised against you in the spiritual realm. I have silenced every word spoken against you. What was said in secret to harm you will be exposed and disarmed. What was built to bring you down will be undone. What held you captive will no longer have power over your mind or heart. I am breaking down the old strongholds that kept you trapped in cycles of defeat, fear, confusion, and indecision. All that is coming to an end now. In this very moment, the invisible is shifting. What was blocked is starting to open. What seemed dead is beginning to come back to life. This is a time of change, but also a time of fulfillment. Everything you sowed in tears will now produce fruit, and not just any fruit, but fruit that is abundant, healthy, and full of purpose. It will not be fruit that decays in your hands, but fruit that nourishes your soul and many others. You have been prepared in the quiet, and now the manifestation is coming. What was hidden will be revealed. What seems small and unimportant will be honored. It will not be because of human approval or worldly achievements, but by the power of my hand that has been working behind the scenes. There will be a visible change. I will even change the way you see yourself, replacing the insecurities that held you back, the fears that kept you from moving forward, and the doubts that made you question your worth. All of that will be replaced by a new identity, one that is not shaped by circumstances or mistakes, but by my love and purpose for you. It is an identity grounded in the eternal. You will no longer walk seeking approval, but as someone who understands their true origin. You will no longer live in lack, but in fullness. What I am doing in this time is not just an improvement. It is a complete transformation. The doors I will open will not be like the ones you've seen before. You won't need to force them or beg for a way in. They will open with authority because I have already prepared the right people, places, opportunities, and moments for you. Everything will fall into place, and you will know it was not by chance. You will know that I am the one who created you, the one who walked with you through every dark valley, the one who held you through every storm, and the one who quietly prepared you for heights you couldn't have reached on your own. Nothing that's coming will be small. Nothing will be ordinary. What lies ahead will stretch your expectations, shatter your past limits, and make you realize that all along, you've been under my care. Every detail hath been carefully planned. Every step hath been arranged. You are not making up your destiny as you go, but walking toward a reality that was already set in motion before you were born. And nothing and no one will be able to stop what I have started. Not everything that seemed lost truly was. Sometimes what slips from your hands is not a loss, but a release, because there are burdens that were never meant for you, paths that would only lead you astray, and people who, while important at one time, could not go with you to where I am taking you. I have allowed certain separations, certain unexpected changes not to harm you, but to protect you. There are blessings that cannot bloom until the obstacles are cleared away. This is what I have been doing, removing what no longer serves you, what hinders your progress, and what stops you from seeing clearly. The confusion that once hung over your mind like a cloud is starting to lift. The noise that blocked your ability to hear the right direction is growing quiet. I am bringing order where there was chaos, peace where there was anxiety, and clarity where uncertainty once ruled. I will do this with a precision that is not based on your understanding, but on what I have already planned. You don't need all the answers to move forward. You only need to trust. At this stage, it's not about control, it's about letting go. It's not about understanding, it's about obeying. You are being guided to something deeper, stronger, and more real than anything you've known before. There is a renewal happening that goes beyond what you can see. I am working on the hidden parts of you, the things that are not visible, the things you haven't even been able to name. I am healing old wounds that were created in times of pain. I am breaking patterns that have held you back without you even realizing it. This is not just about changing what's on the outside, it's about a deep transformation from the inside out. I will change how you respond, how you see things, and how you make choices. I will make you strong, not through harshness, but through truth. And that truth will no longer be just an idea or a far-off word. It will become a living reality deep within you. The times of waiting were not wasted. Though it may have seemed like nothing was moving, that the days were just passing without any results, I was building something inside of you to support what is now coming. There are things that didn't come sooner because they would have been too heavy for you, or they would have led to pride, or simply because you weren't ready to carry them without losing yourself. I don't give things to destroy you. I don't open doors for them to become traps. Everything I've been shaping in secret was for a reason. It's to prepare you to hold with maturity, humility, and wisdom what is now approaching. And no, it's not about living without struggles. I'm not promising you a life free from pain, but I can promise that nothing will hit you the same way again. You will no longer respond from your wounds, but from your healing. You will not make decisions out of fear or urgency, but from a place of peace. What used to cause you to stumble will no longer have control over you. What used to make you retreat will now stand as proof of how much you've grown. The storms will still come, but they will no longer drown you, because I've taught you how to walk on them, to hear my voice in the winds, and to trust even when you can't see solid ground beneath your feet. I'm awakening a new vision in you, a new way of seeing what surrounds you, what you experience, what is yet to come, and what once seemed impossible will begin to feel close, reachable, and real, not because everything changes right away, but because you are changing from the inside. When your inner world shifts, the outer world starts to align. Everything happens in its time, at the right moment. There is no mistake in the rhythm I have set. My timing is never too late, nor does it rush ahead. Every preparation I make, every encounter I allow, every opportunity I give, holds a higher purpose than what the natural eye can see. I have placed before you situations that once would have scared you, but now they will build you up, because what once seemed like an obstacle will now become a platform. The doors that once blocked your way weren't signs of rejection, but a sign that they weren't the right doors. Some paths may seem straight, but their end would have led to destruction. I didn't allow you to walk them, even when you begged for them, even when you cried, and even when you didn't understand it at the time. Later, you will see the mercy in my refusal. Much of what is coming will not be announced with loud celebrations or be praised by crowds. It will start in the quiet, in the simple things, where the most meaningful changes will begin. And by the time others see it, it will already be too deep to reverse. Because when I establish something, nothing in heaven or on earth can stop it. No force can interrupt what comes from my will. I am making new life bloom in places where there was once only desolation. I am bringing purpose out of what others thought was useless. What you thought was lost in your life is being redeemed with eternal purpose. Every part of this journey has been necessary. Even though it was not always understood, and even though it has been painful, not a single step has been without meaning. Every hard moment, every long period of silence, every time you felt stuck, all of it had a purpose. Now, You are approaching the point of fulfillment. Everything that seemed out of place is starting to fit into a bigger plan. When you see it, you will know that you were never outside of my plan, because my plan has always been higher than your understanding and more perfect than anything you could have expected. What begins now will be a testimony of that. The story you've lived so far will not be defined by your mistakes or the times you thought you lost your way. There is a much bigger story unfolding, one that does not rely on your perfection, but on my faithfulness. Even though there may be chapters filled with pain, confusion, or silence, those chapters are not the end of the story. Each one has been woven with purpose, and even the darkest moments have been part of preparing you for the light that is coming. Not everything that happened made sense at the time, and not everything you saw as failure truly was. I have been building in you a story of redemption that goes beyond anything humans could expect. You were not made to be held by the past. You were not created to stay stuck in a mindset of loss. What happened before may have left its marks, but it cannot define who you are or where you are headed. It doesn't matter how many times you fell, or how often you felt like you were starting over. There is a new strength being released over your life, a strength that doesn't come from you or from others, but from my presence. This strength is changing the way you walk, the way you think, and the way you speak. It is building a foundation that isn't made by human hands, but one that will not move with the storms. There are gifts inside of you that have not yet fully awakened. There are seeds I planted that have been waiting for the right moment to grow. They were not forgotten or thrown away. They were simply protected until the right time came. That time is now. You will start to notice a new sensitivity to things you once overlooked. You will have more clarity in your decisions, a quiet confidence that can't be explained by logic, but will lead you with peace. It will not come from effort or plans, but from the natural flow of what I have already put within you. The world around you will also begin to change, not because everything will fall into place overnight, but because you will no longer react the way you once did to things that used to affect you. Your perspective will shift. Where you once saw danger, you will now see opportunity. Where you once felt defeated, you will now feel momentum. The places where you once felt invisible will become places where your voice is heard and respected, not because you are seeking attention, but because the authority that comes from me will be in your words, your actions, and your presence. If you reject God, you can close this message now. But if deep inside you know that you love me, if in your heart you recognize that I am your Creator, your Father, your Savior, then stay. Don't leave. This is not just any video. This is not a message meant to entertain you or offer comforting words to simply please you. This is a divine call, a direct intervention from heaven into your life. Today, I, the Lord your God, have set aside this moment to speak to you, and what you will receive is not just any word. It is a sacred word, a word sealed with purpose, passion, and truth. A word sent from my throne to impact your present and change the course of your eternal future. Just moments ago, something truly extraordinary happened in the kingdom of heaven. Something that you did not see, something that your eyes cannot yet understand, but your spirit is beginning to recognize. Before you even saw this message, before your finger touched the screen to play this video, I had already spoken your name. I called it out in my heavenly court. I declared it before my angels, and I said, "It is time. It is now. This is the appointed moment for my child." When I spoke those words, the heavens responded. Angels were sent, and an assignment was given. Among them, your guardian angel received the task of delivering this holy message to you. Because you've reached a turning point, and what you do with what you hear today will shape the days ahead. A very serious decision had been made in heaven. This is not just a warning, nor is it an ordinary message. This decision affects the length of your life here on earth. Yes, as you hear these words, your years, your days, your hours are not controlled by chance, fate, or luck. They are in my hands, and I have chosen to move the times. I, the one who created the heavens and the earth, have seen everything you've gone through. I have seen your tears, your struggles, your hidden thoughts, and your deepest desires. I know them all. I am not a distant God watching from far away. I am not some vague energy without a face, a voice, or love. I am your Father. I am the one who formed you in your mother's womb. I am the one who has counted every hair on your head, and now I have decided to step into your story. There are moments that completely change the direction of your life. There are words that are not just words, but powerful declarations. Today, you are hearing a heavenly declaration. This is not a message from people. It did not come from human emotions or ideas. It came directly from my presence, and you know this. You can feel in your spirit that this word is meant for you. Your heart is confirming it right now. Something deep within you is stirring, awakening, because this is the final warning before the change. This is the last door before many others close. You've been asking for answers, crying out in secret, sometimes in silence, sometimes with tears on your pillow, wondering if I hear you, if I see you, if I still have plans for your life. And today I answer you personally. Yes, I have heard you, I have seen you, and yes, I have plans for you, but you must stop and pay attention. You need to surrender fully because the time for playing around is over. The time for walking in half-hearted ways is finished. I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. And today I plead with you, choose life, choose my way, choose to listen to my voice, and choose to obey.